Alright, so for anticipation of the upcoming final season of Castlevania, I wanted to knock out a Season 3 review of it. So I'm going to try and make this as short as humanly possible. So with that said, let's dive right into it. We have new characters this go around, such as this guy, this cult, Carmela's sisters, this asshole, that asshole, these two, this guy, this thing, and this thing. Good, we're caught up. Now on to the story. Season 3 starts off a month after Dracula's death. Alucard tries to adjust to his loneliness, but he misses Trevor and Sypha and fears he's going insane. Meanwhile, Trevor and Sypha arrive in a small town of Lindenfeld, where a local priory sympathizes with Dracula's cause and wishes to punish those responsible for his death. Carmela returns to her castle in Styria with Hector to reunite with her council of sisters, consisting of herself, Lenore, Striga, and Morana. Hector is then imprisoned in her castle. Somewhere in northern Africa, Isaac is set on exacting revenge on Hector. He acquires a distance mirror, a magical device which reveals Hector's whereabouts. Isaac and his creatures then depart for Genoa on a boat belonging to a man known as the Captain. In Styria, Carmela shares her plans to dominate an area of Eastern Europe, effectively enclosing it into a personal pen with humans as livestock. However, when Striga points out that Hector will refuse to forge new demons, Lenore volunteers to convince him otherwise. In Lindenfeld, Trevor meets the mysterious Saint Germain, who recognizes him as a Belmont. Germain persuades the priory leader Sala to grant him access into their library. At the Belmont Hold, Alucard is visited by a pair of vampire hunters from Japan, Taka and Sumi. Befriending the judge of Lindenfeld, Trevor and Sypha learn how one of Dracula's creatures, nicknamed the Visitor, crashed into the priory and began communicating with the monks. Since then, Sala began refusing townfolk into the priory's hall and allowed disturbed strangers in. On the open seas, the captain and Isaac are debating the merits of humanity. When Isaac says he wishes to continue Dracula's ambitions, his faith is shaken when the captain challenges him to use his skills to teach humanity how to be kinder. At Carmela's castle, Lenore brings food to an unclothed and battered Hector. Wary of her intentions, he attempts to escape, only to be beaten down by Lenore. At Dracula's castle, Alucard learns from Taka and Sumi that they were once enslaved by one of Dracula's council members, Cho. Although Cho died in the battle against Dracula, Taka and Sumi know another vampire will one day succeed her and ask Alucard to teach them. Meanwhile, in Styria, relations between Hector and Lenore begin to thaw after she provides him with clothes. At the Lindenfeld Priory, Saint Germain is suspicious of the monks, questioning their loyalty to God. He is fascinated by the symbol on Salus's armband, the alchemical sign for sulfur used by philosophers to denote hell. Trevor and the judge notice alchemical signs have been carved throughout the town by the monks. Outside the priory, Saint Germain meets Sypha, who knows she is a magician. Joined with Trevor, Saint Germain tells them that he is in search of a portal to the Infinite Corridor, where he once lost someone dear to him, and claims that one lies beneath the priory. Lenore takes Hector for a walk around Carmela's castle, though keeping him on a leash, and he gradually starts to fall for her charms. In Lindenfeld, Germain has a nightmare of falling through the Infinite Corridor, an endless pit of dimensions where he witnesses worlds with giant monsters and spaceships. Before waking up, however, a woman throws him a crystal which he catches in his hand. Alucard trains Sumi and Taka and takes them to the Belmont Hold, teaching them to start by learning something simple. Returning to the priory in Lindenfeld, Saint Germain discovers a book which shows him how to bring back the dead from hell. He heads towards the basement, where he finds the still-living visitor impaled to the walls. During a 2-week march to Styria, Isaac meets a blind woman, Miranda, who reveals a nearby city that houses a magician who populates it with his own slaves. She tells him the magician owns a transmission mirror, which can transport Isaac and his army to Styria. Saint Germain meets with Trevor, Sypha, and the judge. They devise a plan to fight the Mad Monks and also help Saint Germain open the Infinite Corridor. In the Belmont hold, Alucard bonds with Taka and Sumi during their training, but they are both suspicious that Alucard is hiding something from them. At sundown, the houses of Lindenfeld that bear the ominous carvings suddenly combust in flames. A battle between the monks and the judge's men begins, as countless monsters emerge from the priory. Trevor, Sypha, and Saint Germain enter the priory, while the visitor opens the portal to Hell, where Dracula is seen holding his wife, Lisa. In Styria, Lenore seduces Hector, then tricks him by slipping a magic ring onto his finger, which enslaves him. Isaac enters the city with his night creatures and successfully defeats the magician and his legion, an amalgamation of countless human bodies. As Alucard lies awake at night in Dracula's castle, Taka and Sumi enter the room and proceed to have sex with him, but they then suddenly restrain Alucard by using a trap. Taka and Sumi accuse Alucard of withholding his knowledge of magic from them and not teaching them how to operate the castle. Before they could stake him, he uses his sword to slit their throats. In the Priory's basement, Trevor and Sypha battle the monsters while Saint Germain tries closing the portal. Sala stabs the judge, who suddenly tells Sala about a secret path where he can make his escape. As Trevor destroys the visitor, Saint Germain closes the corridor with him inside, thanking Trevor and Sypha for their help. The couple later finds Sala dead in a pit of spikes, containing countless human bones. They discover the judge had been killing children and taking their shoes as trophies to his house. They burn it down and depart from Lindenfeld afterwards. At Carmela's castle, the sisters have perfected their plan, and Lenore presents them with rings she had forged to make Hector's night creatures loyal to them. The ring will cause Hector great pain if he attempts to flee or remove it. The episode ends with Alucard at the castle's entrance, where he has left the impaled bodies of Sumi and Taka as a warning to future visitors. So, what do I think of Season 3? Well, it's definitely not Season 2, but honestly, comparing it to Season 2, it's an improvement in every way. Everything that Season 2 did wrong, Season 3 manages to do it right. Even though Season 3 had more split storylines in it than Season 2, it manages to handle and tell its stories in a meaningful way without wasting unnecessary time to do so, and without insulting your intelligence in the process. Unlike in Season 2, where its storylines, most notably the Dracula War Council in general, as well as its characters in it, made little to no sense in a logical standpoint. I like how in Season 3 that there wasn't any meaningless filler talking points in it that went absolutely nowhere, or that it didn't try and force humor onto you like they did with Trevor and Alucard in Season 2 with their jabs at each other. I also like that there was actual, genuine portrayal in it. Unlike in Season 2, where the show tries to, though unsuccessfully, make certain characters sympathetic to the audience that hasn't earned it or don't deserve it whatsoever. For example, in Season 2, Hector being quote-unquote betrayed by Carmela despite the fact that he willingly went along with her plan to betray Dracula throughout the season only to be mad at her at the end for apparently no logical reason. In Season 3, however, Lenore tricked Hector into believing that she genuinely cared about him throughout the season by giving him food and clothes to wear as well as listening to him, until she betrayed him at the end by putting the enslavement ring on him in order to control him. And what's worse is that she gave her sisters copies of the ring so that they can control him as well. This is an example on how a betrayal storyline is done well. Now, I know what people are going to be saying when they watch this review. Oh, Master Roll, how can you shit on Season 2? Oh, Master Roll, why are you shitting on Season 2 so much? Wah, 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 wah. And the reason being is because Season 2 is absolute shit. And if you want it explained in further detail, then look no further to my Season 2 review. Anyway, Season 3 was overall refreshing and a step up from past seasons, and I hope that Season 4 will continue this and to end the series on a definitive ending point, i.e., no cliffhangers. And that's it for my review. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe, as well as hitting the bell so you won't miss future content. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.